So, Dr. Cywes, my first question is, many people highly believe that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. What is your opinion on that?
You know, there's several things. First of all, biologically, the way your body works, breakfast is the least important meal of the day because the way the liver works is as soon as you wake up, when you're asleep, everything is quiet. Everything kind of goes down in terms of your biology. Your biology is at rest, it's taking a break. As soon as you wake up, we call it the dawn phenomenon. The first thing your liver does is it shoves a whole bunch of sugar into your bloodstream. Your liver stores sugar and it pushes it around to the bloodstream. So your blood sugar rises, which gives you the energy to get up for the first couple of hours of your day. It's called the dawn effect. And if anybody has diabetes, they recognize that the dawn effect is one of the most challenging things because your blood sugar shoots up. So if you then eat on top of that, you're now adding to that dawn effect, and your body doesn't handle that very well. So biologically, breakfast is the least important meal of the day. However, we also have to take into account people's situations. If you're going to go out and work in the fields the whole day, and the only opportunity you get to eat is in the morning, sure, by all means eat. So there's a pragmatic component to that, and then there is a biologic component to it. But biologically, it's the least important meal of the day. But pragmatically, you've got to make that decision. The other thing also that's interesting when we work with people that have obesity or type 2 diabetes, and the two diseases are very, very similar in that they are related, and we can talk about this, to chronic excessive carbohydrate consumption. And the obesity and diabetes are the consequence of people subconsciously shifting away from eating primarily for the nutritional value of food to eating and drinking a little bit like an alcoholic for the emotional value of eating. And they eat more sugar and starch. And as I manage my patients, once they start eating during the day, it's kind of in their head, it's in their biology, and they're continuously, almost like a smoker, looking for an opportunity to eat more. So once you start, it's very difficult to stop through the day. So the other principle we use in treating my sick patients, my metabolically sick, carb addicted patients, is to try to go as deep into the day without eating so that once you start, you don't get yourself into trouble early in the day. It lasts a little bit longer during the day. And then the final piece for people who are already metabolically challenged, who have diabetes, have metabolic syndrome, have obesity. A very close friend of mine, Jason Fung, created a concept called intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting is where you kind of continue that biologic rest phase. The way the body works is in two separate pathways. It's all like a tide, it's ebb and flow. So when you eat, the body takes in food and has to distribute it to store it. And then between meals, you return that food from storage to be used. And the hormonal systems that govern that are very different. So if you eat right away in the first in the morning, now you're going into supply mode where you're supplying your body with nutrition. And you counteract what I call demand mode, where your cells are making a demand of food. So in the intermittent fasting principle, you go a very long time without eating to keep that dormant state, that dormant hormonal state where everything's quiet, particularly insulin, is at a low level. And that's one of the ways we use to get rid of type 2 diabetes very quickly. We try to keep that diabetes level low. And if you learn to do that on over a long period of time, the best hours to capitalize are the time you sleep. So let's say you sleep for 8 hours at night and then you only eat at lunchtime. Now you've given yourself maybe an extra 6 or 8 hours where you haven't eaten. That's 16 hours of not eating. If you eat breakfast, you're looking at 8 hours. So it's a much, much shorter duration. And then your hormones turn upside down again. And in particular, if you snack on top of that, you get yourself into trouble. So for my patients, we try to get them not to eat breakfast and try to go as deep into the day without eating, so you capitalize on that intermittent fast. But obviously, you've got to look at the lifestyle. And I have patients who've done extremely well eating breakfast and lunch or eating breakfast and dinner. So it's not an absolute, but it is for most people the most convenient way to go. A long answer, but it brings so many different aspects into context. Hi, guys. This is Dr. Rob Cywes, and I strongly suggest that you subscribe to bnsgokugreat. It's a great channel on YouTube.